And we can see the puppies. Oops. They disappeared. The noise he makes. You're trying to hold my hand. I have had the best night's sleep in a really long time. I mean, it's not a good sleep by any means, but it's better than it has been. So we're acknowledging the small things, okay? And also, just like that, by the way, over the weekend, this part on my face has been hurting so bad, especially like in the afternoon. So like, you know, when you get like sinus infection or something, it sort of feels like that, but it's not, because when I like go down, it doesn't hurt. And it's worse in the afternoon. I guess it's a fiber thing, but I've never had my face hurt before. That's a new one. I had my teeth hurt from fibro. I actually like had to book like emergency dentist appointment once, and I was like, I have a cavity. I have never had a cavity ever, and I had to like make an appointment. And they're like, Julia, you don't have one. Like they examined, they took like the images and everything, and they're like, you don't have one. And I'm like, oh great, my fibro is so bad, my teeth hurts, you know. So that was a development over the weekend. Also, I have here, I've written down this sock that I did, and I started sock the 15th, so 6 days ago. I started making a pair of socks, and I'm going to give it to my grandmother. And I have this crush colored yarn from hedgehog fiber, and I just find it so pretty. So anyway, decided to make her a pair of socks. So I did one 2 days ago. I started on this. What? I just like, first day I just did like the cuff. And then this is what I did yesterday. Like the leg, the heel, like a third of the foot. What? And it's like, it's not like this was the only thing I did yesterday. So I'm like, if I could knit this much sock. Anyway, I also think it's partly the yarn, because it's so pretty with all of these colors. So it has that sort of red as a base, and then almost like a highlighter pink, and then blue and yellows, and it's so pretty. So it's gone by really fast. Anyway, it feels really good to have like that as a almost done kind of thing. Also ordered sock blockers yesterday for grandma, because she has a really small feet, and then I also ordered for 41 plus for dad and my brother. So I feel like it feels really good. I have like a plan of the stuff I want to knit for Christmas, and I know we are like mid-August, but I have done quite a few gifts already, and it feels so good. Actually, right here is what I knitted before. It's a hat for my brother. It did turn out quite a lot bigger than I think I could have made it smaller. I actually did knit about this much, and then took it all the way back and did it a little bit smaller, and I think I could have made it smaller still. But it's the same one I did in the other, so it's a Musselburgh hat. This too is hedgehog fiber. I just like, I know it's not like the most practical wearable yarn, but it's just so soft and just so pretty, and all the colors makes me so happy. So I don't really care. But I have washed and blocked it. I had to sniff it. So the other day I was on a video call with Jem from the Color Kit. We like to do like little video chats when we can. And she was like, "Did you just sniff the yarn?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did." It smelled quite a lot because I had used hand cream when I was making it. So like the actual hat smell, but it doesn't smell anything right now. So it just smells like yarn. But it's quite big. I think you could fold it up if you wanted to, depending on how much. But it does fit me, and I have the biggest head. Also, I have most hair too. But I think it turned out really cute. So yeah, our Christmas present for little brother, check. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them something else apart from the knit gifts, but I feel really good about having stuff that are like good. So I have like socks, and my second hat is done. So yeah, I feel really good about that. Now, my next thing is, I haven't decided actually. I still need to do something for my dad. I'm thinking I want to make a hat for grandma in for Christmas, and then making like one side just like a pretty color like this, and then having another side when you flip it. And I did just place another order on Hedgehog Fiber for like this really neon green color that is just that. And my grandma, she's always out walking, so I think it would be really fun to knit like one side of the hat in like a highlighted green. And telling her you can wear the pretty side in the daytime, and then when it's like darker you just flip your hat so people can see you when you come walking. So that's what I've been doing the weekend. So that is done. And then this is almost done. I have the other sock up in the loft, still haven't moved in, but I'm thinking I can knit like 5 centimeters longer, and then I will have to go and check the other one because I didn't write. I wrote down everything, but I didn't write how long I did the foot or the toe. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And rambling. I've been practicing my rambling. No, but I have been yesterday. I did painting, like proper painting, and I think that's why I'm feeling better too. So, well, this wasn't yesterday, but this is the latest project I'm working on, and I want to do a painting based on a Christmas song. Well, it's not actually about Christmas, but we sing it at Christmas. Well, we sing it at Lucia. Anyway, and I wanted to do something like this. And you think, okay, so it's a bunch of horses and a man. Well, we have this song about Stefan, the stable hand. He had 5 horses that he looked after, 2 white, 2 red, and then a grey. And he followed the bright star. I'm simplifying the song quite a bit, but that is the one sketch. I also did this very quickly in gouache on my book. And here he's looking back at one of the red horses. So I did start a canvas, and I'm having a really good time with it. I'm really enjoying it. Sitting looking at it right now and thinking about the changes I want to make. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. Also, I know it never ends. So my sister is getting married. Well, technically she is married But anyway, so the ceremony she had, uh, the priest sort of told about the story about a camel going through the eye of a needle. And he explained that the eye of the needle was really like a gateway into the city that was so narrow that they called it the eye of the needle. And he said that her husband was the camel who, the only way he could get through to my sister was that he removed all the packings that he had as a camel, and then he came through the eye of the needle. Anyway, it was a really a beautiful analogy, I think. I'm not very well versed in Bible verses, so but I really like the idea of that imagery, and also he talked about, um, like I said, I'm not good with the Bible stuff, but the there's analogy like that you have really big fat camels and then really skinny ones, symbolizes the 7 good years and then the 7 bad years, and you know what I mean, if you know what. Anyway, so he talked a lot about camels. That's what I was going to say. So I thought it would be really fun for me anyway to make like a little painting to give to them, with camels, to sort of like represent the wedding speech that the priest had, and also be like, they know, like for others it's just like hopefully a pretty painting of camels, but for them it's a reminder that you need to uh, sort of fatten up your camel, or uh, refill all the love, so when you have bad times in your relationship you can have something to take off. So this is my first. I just did in some watercolor, and yeah, I'm not. I wanted to do it in a night sky. I love that dark blue. Everything I've doing in scenes have the dark blue sky. But the thing I'm not too sure about is if I want the standing, because I think I wanted portrait wise, and with the 2 camels, I'm thinking about if I should have a baby camel, um, because 3 always tend to look better, and baby camels are really cute. um, but also I think I want this camel to look at this camel. This camel looks a little bit grumpy, but as it represents my sister, kind of accurate. Anyway, but yeah, I really like the way I did the stars, and I do really like the use of watercolor, not blending everything out. I have a really hard time not blending watercolor out, or leaving those edges, and also the pencil markings. I do feel like it's a bit too harsh on the fur here, so I want to change that. But on the whole, I think it looks pretty cool. Now, the other thing I'm contemplating is using metallic watercolors. The finished piece obviously will be a piece like framed. So I'm thinking of going for it. Usually I avoid using my metallic or glittery watercolors because if I'm scanning it in, it doesn't look good. But this will be, so I'm thinking about using Agnes. Using Agnes for like the sand, and then maybe another color to use for the moon. So here I just used like some light color pencil to do some like highlights from the moon, but I think it would be really fun to use like Eden maybe, or even Signe, something like that, to do that. I'm thinking actually about doing an underpainting, but yeah, I mean, I think this one looks really cool. I really like it. So anyway, I also made a little sketch right here. Yeah, okay, so I feel like I've been very productive. Today I'm not going to put the timer on 2 hours like I normally do, because today we're going to make paint. Usually it doesn't take 2 hours, but I know that once I've done that, I will be completely exhausted. Actually, today is a special paint making day because we are going to make a new color. I have made this color before, but it's new to all of you. Um, but I had some issues with the drying, so I need to make more. But that's fine. So, with that being said, the longest intro, let's head to the slab and let's make Doris. I have loaded up with sugar. I'm well into getting a sugar like high. I'm working hard on it. By the way, this is the Starbucks caramel coffee you can buy just in the freezer in the local supermarket. Not sure how much coffee. Definitely a lot of sugar. So loading up on this. Normally I actually take this and dilate it with milk. Anyway, the reason why is because I really want to do a camel painting. So I don't know why I'm making such a big deal out of it. I mean, I know because it's going to be a wedding gift, but still, so during the week I have made 2 test pieces in my little sketchbook. This is a sea white of Brighton. Usually save the sticker. It's sea white of Brighton 300 GSM on cellulose paper. So it's not cotton paper. I will use cotton paper. I'm about to pull it out real soon. I haven't decided yet, but I think I might bust into my arch paper. So started out with this. So a lot of saturated color and a little bit more of a naive, childlike depiction of the camels. And here what I really liked was especially the stars playing into that sort of naivete thing. I wasn't too happy about the camels and how they were facing and how grumpy this one looked, but like I said, does represent my sister pretty well. But I do really like the colors of it. Then I made another one, which is a completely different feel to it. Now, I love the sky that I did here. It's the same type of stars, but the sky is not solid anymore. It has more that sort of starry night feel. Also, what I did, I don't know if I can make that pick up, is I did a first go about with underpainting. So all the shadows for the camels, I did that in, I don't remember, in a dark color. And then I went in with a pearlescent, so I used the color I've made myself, Eden. And I put that all of the highlights of where the moonlight would touch them, just to see how that looked. And I really like it. So the reason why I wanted to try it is partly I haven't done it before, but I know that if I were to go in with Eden, that is just a white pearlescent color, if I were to go in with that on top, when I've painted everything, it would just be like almost white. Having that, but now it's just shimmery because the colors that I have laid on top of it. So I wanted to try that, and also using Agnes on the ground here to get that gold glitter. It's also made up of 2 granulating earth pigments. And I wanted to see how that would look, and I really like it. It adds just that little bit of extra bling without being too overwhelming, I think. So this one has definitely more of a night feel without the blue. I also did a blue color pencils for more outlining and defining, and then white pen for some details. So I do like it. I do feel like it's a bit too cold. I do prefer the saturation of the others. So what I've come up with for my, I think, final sketch. Oh, and also here I've added in a little baby, but I don't like how it reads. I don't like, it doesn't feel, no. So even though I would like to add in a third, I think the sketch I just did, it reads better. So what I have done is sort of combining the very illustrative nature with sort of realism, but simplified it quite a bit. So my hope is it would read a lot easier and clearer. Both of the camel images I made before, I've had one brown and one yellow, and this is for a reason, obvious, because the sand, I wanted to have them 2 different colors, and I felt it would be better to place the yellow one up front to have the brown one to sort of separate the camel from the sand dunes. The same thing over here, and I think that works really well. So this camel almost frames the one, and because I want it to be portrait, I feel like the best thing is to have one standing up and one laying down. So I'm happy with that. So I think this is the one I want to go with, and when I look at it now, I feel pretty confident that I will like it. So first thing, my beloved pencil. It's a monograph by Tombow. For a few years I was on a hunt for the best pencil, and I stumbled across this on Amazon, and I just love it. I even buy replacement erasers for it because I love it so much. So with a new eraser in place, shake it so we have some lead over here. I'm going to go into my drawer of cotton watercolor paper. I'm going to bring one out, cut it into the right size, and then I'm going to get this. So, camel painting number 3, and this time it's like the real thing. So I decided to do it properly with a sketch and then put it under the light board so I could just trace it over to the watercolor paper. I decided to go with, because I found in my drawer this Saunders Waterford. Oh, it's so pretty, and it was already cut to size. Shh, don't tell. But I just made some marks in the corners, so I had a rough idea how much of an A4 it would be. And I decided to pencil in with these graphitined water-soluble graphite pencils, partially because they sort of escape in the water, and I kind of like the softer the purple gets. Then, of course, because I had sketched it out and I was so like, I need to do it properly, I decided to change the head of one of the camels. Sometimes I just wonder what I'm thinking. But I'm wondering even more because I decided I was going to film it. Like, this is the final piece, so I'm going to film it. Yeah, that went so well. That's why I'm here. This is why editing Julia needs to step up, because real time filming Julia was too concerned about the bloody painting, which I suppose is fair enough considering it is a wedding gift. So I'm going to show you how I'm adding onions that I have made a really, really big pan for myself. It's actually just a lid. But that is pretty much it. The rest of the painting I'm using from my studio palette, or what I'm calling my studio palette. It is watercolors from tubes that I have put on the palette, and those are M-gram watercolor, yes, they're watercolor, also Daniel Smith and Old Holland. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed painting this. I really enjoyed the fact that I had practiced. I know a few, like not too long ago, I was like, painting should be spontaneous and fun, but I'm actually feeling more free the more I practice, because I get more and more familiar with the piece I'm actually working on, and I feel like I can take more steps and experiment even more. And what I really enjoy here is being able to work with watercolor, but then also adding in my watercolors that add an extra dimension with the glitter and the granulation and everything. And also adding in gel pens or opaque paint markers and regular color pencils, just to add more. So here is yeah, the final piece. I wanted to incorporate a bit more saturation from my first example. I wanted to have the sky from the second one, adding some detail with color pencils, adding a bit less on the texture of the camels, and just, yeah, I'm trying to put my hand to get the accurate colors, but my phone and my camera, they don't want, there, you can if I keep a white sheet of paper, you can see the accurate colors. And then I was like, I need to photograph this and like show it off, you know, because it's different seeing it like this and then seeing it framed. It's a huge difference. That's the timer for when I'm working. But as you can see, it's really hard when it's the glass is reflecting everything, and the dogs are just all in the way. And there's one missing, but Albert, he is there. It's just chaos. However, my camel image for my sister and her husband is done, and I'm really, really happy with it.
When I was around, I think I was around age 5 or 6. So my grandmother from my father's side, she was a kindergarten teacher, and I'm going to be picking up stitches until the stitch marker here. You can go ahead and
It is Tuesday morning, and I'm sitting down. I'm just about to go through the orders, ordering shipping labels, and do all of that. And today, I have here a little stack that I want to show you. I'm going to send out to a friend, and this friend has actually like made an order, and I was like, So I'm going to send it all together to her. And we talk a little bit on Instagram and that kind of stuff. And you know, we are both going through a little bit of a hard time, and so I thought I was just going to write a little message saying that I wanted to send her some flowers, but you can't send flowers in the mail, not successfully anyway. So I thought I'm going to take the flower theme. So I just want to share like the few stuff I did find, because I think I managed to get like a flower theme, but good stuff. Okay, I find these stickers. They're mostly like bugs and butterflies, but there are a few flowers, and I thought they were kind of cute. And I'm partial to the ladybug. Oh, and also I thought I'm going to send some of these stickers and my washi tape, because very flower theme. ICA is like the one of the biggest chain grocery stores, so that's where I went shopping. They have their own stuff, you know. So this is black tea, and it's Söderbloom, or southern bloom, like it's flowers sort of. It's mostly made with orange peel, rose petal, and strawberry, like our evening tea that we usually drink. I mean, just the box is really cute, but it is these little tea light, scented tea lights in peony, and I just thought the packaging was so cute. And I do really like scented candles, but they're usually big and heavy, and I thought this was really cute. Then I found this is also an ICA brand, and it is a hand cream with a scent of pear and cherry blossom. I mean, look at that packaging, isn't that so cute? So it's ecological, certified, made in Sweden, with aloe vera, chamomile. I was really happy with that. This, okay, so I bought this like 1 or 2 weeks ago because I like to try the new candy stuff, and this is faster. So it's really Finnish, but we have so much of this brand, and they came out with this new one. It's called Flower Power, and I don't know if you can tell. They have a picture here on the back, but each of the candy is shaped like flowers, and then they are flavored. I was going to say scented, flavored, like the flowers. So we have elderberry flower with strawberry, plum, rhubarb. That actually tastes like rhubarb, like proper rhubarb. Apple, pear, and then this is orange, blossom, and peach. And then they also have some chocolate stuff in it. And I had like, it's a really unique taste. Like usually when they come out with new this kind of stuff, it's just like, yeah, but this, I really like it. And I like, you can't get more flower theme than this. It's like flowers. So I was like, so I'm really happy with that flower themed gift. Just a little bit like, you know, instead of sending flowers, but sending flowers. So I'm just like really, I thought it was a really fun thing, like that I set myself a little challenge to go with a flower theme, and I actually like, I think I pulled it together like really fun things. It's so interesting that your brain can just like stop working mid-sentence. Anyway, I'm going to work, I'm going to focus on that. So I'm just sitting here enjoying my burnt lunch anyway, and this little boy rocks up in this part of the garden where he can't go, but he was there. His whole thing, it's just like, what have you been doing? No, honestly, what have you been doing? Oh my god. Oh no! Are you all alone? Oh no! I don't know, I just packaged some orders, and I thought I was going to go into town and drop them off. So yesterday things didn't really go as I had planned. I had planned to work up on the loft. My bed that I had ordered had arrived, and there's still quite a lot from my brother up there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to, I need to work in short intervals because I have very little energy. So I did that, and I was really annoyed, to be fair. Was not in my best headspace, not in a great mood. But the loft is on the first floor, the second story of the workshop slash, it was a stable, but we don't have any horses, so now it's all just workshop area. Anyway, it has an outside staircase. Well, it's not actually a case, is it? Because it's just a set of stairs. So I was walking up and down with stuff that is my brother, dropping them off in his workshop area. And I've had this kind of funny turns where I have a really hard time describing, but I think the closest thing that I can sort of is that it feels like my brain is shutting down and sort of loses contact with my body. Usually it's just like, it's not even a second. It feels like longer, but I don't think it's actually a very long time. But it just feels like it's rebooting, where I can sort of feel like the connection coming through. I don't know, but it just like, it goes black, and then you just start feeling your body again, and it's so odd. I don't faint or anything so far. But it's just really odd. I have had these funny turns, rebooting stuff for quite some time, and it just keeps happening. And it's just like, it's annoyance, it's a little bit concerning, but like, nothing has ever happened. Yesterday I was walking down the stairs, I was carrying this huge speaker, like you connect to something you want to amplify sound with. Anyway, my brother, he was like, I'm leaving this to you, you might like it. And I'm like, I don't. I have a speaker, it's super handy, it fits in my pocket. I don't actually have pockets on me today, but you get it. Anyway, so I was like, I don't want it. I'm going to carry it out, I'm going to put it in his workshop. If he wants to have the sound, he can have it there. Okay. So I'm walking, having one of my funny turns, and I fall down the stairs. I don't fall down the whole stairs because I know that I was taking steps, and then I don't really know what happened, but I remember like a few steps before I stopped. So somewhere walking, and yeah. So I had one of my little funny turns walking the stairs carrying stuff. So when I come to, I'm in quite a lot of pain. I'm missing, because it was like a set, like one really big box of speakers, and then there was a few small ones, and I have no idea where the big one is, and I'm missing a little one, and just in a lot of pain. So it took some time before I was like, could actually move again. Finding all the speakers and dropping them off at him. Quite annoyed right now that I can't even walk down stairs, But you think, as a clever, soon-to-be 30-year-old woman, I would say, okay, maybe it's because my body is tired, I need to rest. No, I get really annoyed and I decide I need to empty this whole room right now. So I keep going, and obviously I keep getting more and more tired because my energy level is like at 15% on a good day. Yeah. So take a few trips up and down, and then I actually fall again. This time, no funny turn, it just like, my legs just had enough. This time, because I was with it, I could. So the second time I fell, I was prepared. I could like notch my foot out, so I didn't like slide all the way down. So today, well, after this, I did decide like enough is enough. So I did go in and I took a bath because I know that if I'm in pain normally, a bath usually helps to sort of soften it for the next day. And I knew if I had fallen down the stairs twice, I needed a bath. So I took a long bath. I watched Top Gear. Oh, and today, I know it will be the worst tomorrow because it's always the worst 2 days after. And I woke up in pain. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty uncomfortable moving. But it's not as bad as I thought it was. So, I do have some bruises on my hands, which is uncomfortable, but it doesn't hurt all the time. However, I must have knocked my back or something because my ribs hurt. I'm not really sure about that, but they do hurt. And also, I must have done something with my head because the right side of my neck is quite stiff. So, and also this, my underarm is currently like burning. Now, that is just normal fiber stuff, so I'm not too concerned about that. My planners. I have packaged orders, which is good, but it also gives me an excuse to head into town. So I'm thinking I'm going to head into town, drop them off, and then I'm going to see if I can find some really good fika, and then spend the rest of the day in my sofa with my electric heating blanket, knitting, and having fika. Like, I think that is one of my most brilliant ideas I've had in a really long time. You're going to be laying down there, yeah. Yeah, that's oh my god. These chickens have absolutely no respect. No respect whatsoever for motorized vehicles. Like, how have they survived? I have no idea. I guess they just like decide to show who's the boss. Obviously it's them. Also, I did put on eyebrows, so I would look, I don't know. So it's 11:30. I've dropped off the orders. I looked for fika, but when I was about to take it, it was a big fly on it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've grown up in the country. We have flies. It's just like, I know where all flies have been. Like, I know the kind of poo our cows produce. I don't want the city flies on my... Anyway. However, I did get some iced coffee and some history magazines because my self-control is very low. I don't know if you can tell, I am so sweaty. And all I have done is walked around the store. I did take 2 painkillers before I left. And they have done nothing. So, I'll just have my really, really good go-fika. I just have that saved for another day. So, now we're heading home. Oh, I really, really wish the AC in the car would work right now. That would be really nice. So, but the fan is still going, so we take what we can get here. It is blowing a little bit, so. Hva blir det? Hva blir det? Oi! Har du pusset den? Ja. Ja. Oi! Ta den. Ta den. Tog den vägen. Ta benet. Ta benet. Ja, ta benet. Ta den. Oh, så bra pojk. So we're home. I have started to take down this dark wall, but the screws in here are too far in to attach. Well, no, anyway, so this is like 3/3 left. So I just put a star in. Oh God. Day 2 after the star incidents, and yeah, the bruises have come in. I have a very, very straight one on my right butt cheek. I promise I would show if it, well, maybe not. Anyway, I find it very funny. But yeah, having a really hard time sleeping because my body is really in pain. So yeah, I got a really interesting one on my elbow. You can, well, anyway. So I don't know. Anyway, also this can't help but just like pick on it. Maybe yeah. So this gang will be picked up later today by Doris' owner. So Doris and Agnes, this dark one, they will continue to live together, whereas this little one, he's just going off on a short holiday and will come back later. So they will just live with Doris' owner for a few days while it's my sister's wedding, because we thought it would be easier for the puppies to be with their mother, just like less stress. So they will take a little trip to Doris' home, and he will come back later this week. So that will happen. He will come and pick them up today. Oh, also good timing, Asta, hey, she's just starting her season, so she's in heat. Albert doesn't really mind so far, but Herman, oh, I can show you here. My painting I made of them. So Albert, he doesn't mind that Asta is in season, but Herman, he knows. For this week, the goal is to have the vlog up and also 2 new colors in the shop. The 2 new colors have been ready, and now I have time to release them. So this one you have seen because I had to make it so many more times than I usually have to make a color to get them ready, but the weather, humidity have been all over the place, which meant that first it didn't dry, then it did dry too fast, cracked, shrank too much. So this is like a third of the colors, and I have more in the fridge, and so Doris will not run out anytime soon. I have this one. I have named it Ulf, which is sort of synonymous with Ulv. So Ulf is a normal man name here in Sweden. It's kind of old, been used a long time. It comes from Ulv. Usually in Sweden, like F and V, they change those around willy-nilly. As a dyslexic, I appreciate. Anyway, but it's another word for wolf or varg. Just a fun fact, like many other culture, when you have something scary, you tend to change the name, so you can use the new name, making it less scary to talk about, but you still talk. So I named it wolf because it's a changing color, and I will show you. So when I photograph, I like to have these little hex swatches just so you can see how the color looks, because sometimes they don't look like this when you buy it, like when you actually paint out the color. Let's start with Ulf. So I said that Ulf is not what he appears to be. Yeah, it looks like a normal red browny color, almost like a little bit Caput Mortem. And when you paint it out, it's not really that, is it? So that is Ulf, a little bit of a surprise. Doris, I mean, I don't think Doris is any surprises because you have seen me make Doris several times, like that. Now, Doris has a neon base and ultramarine violet, so it will granulate and have a really nice separation to that neon pink in the background. We're just going to let these dry, and when they have dried, we can photograph them. So while we're waiting for those to dry, I'm going to start cleaning these colors. So I'm just going to put out 1/2 pan and 1 full pan of each, and I try to take the colors that are most average. So for example, If I know there's a lot of cracking, I try not to take colors that are completely smooth. I try to take those who have cracking in them. Maybe not the ugliest ones, but I still don't want it to be like a huge shock later on. For example, this color is not a pretty color. I have refilled this several times, but I can't get it smooth enough. So I don't want to take, I want to make sure I take like a fairly good looking, but it has some cracks, it's uneven. So I'm going to take that one. And this one is not very pretty either. I mean, some colors, they dry completely smooth, so perfect, and some don't. And I don't want to make like false advertising or something. So I'm going to put those there, and then I'm going to take a washcloth and start drying these. I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this week's vlog. It's really long, and I cut down about half because I've actually been painting, like I mentioned previously, and I'm thinking maybe I should save that footage of that painting, and the ambition is that I will actually finish this painting, and maybe I can make a whole video about that painting. Who knows? What I do know, however, is that right now I have 2 new colors up on the Etsy shop, and you already know what colors those are. It is Doris and Ulf. So if both or either of them felt interesting to you, you can head over. I have them in half and full pans because I've made them the first I'm going to call it batch, but it was like a testing out thing. I did that months ago, so I've actually had some really good time playing with them, and I really enjoy that. You can also go back to this vlog where I'm actually using Doris when I'm just doing a very spontaneous creative play art piece in my art journal of Albert, so you can go and see sort of how it looks there. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.